Standing at 12,000 feet tall, Mount Semeru is among the tallest volcanoes in Indonesia. It is the highest peak on the island of Java and sits about 300 miles southeast of Jakarta, the capital city. Locals call it the Great Mountain, as it rises above coastal plains and dominates the skyline. On December 4th of 2021, the Great Mountain decided to show how great it really is. The eruption began shortly before 3 a.m. local time. People began evacuating as lava spewed into the air and ash rained on the village below. Things only got worse as the sun came up. While most villagers ran for cover, others turned around to record the eruption.
Ya Allah, Buri Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allah. Astaghfirullah.
The ash cloud you're seeing stretched over 4,000 feet into the air. According to reports, it forced the immediate evacuation of 10,000 villagers living within the danger zone. While many were concerned about the ash, others worried about mudslides and lava flow. Thankfully, that's not hot lava racing through the forest. Instead, it's a mix of mud, water, and hot volcanic debris. It forced further evacuations as homes were buried in volcanic mud. According to the Smithsonian, the eruption at Mount Semeru rated as a 4 on the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or the VEI. That means it was slightly less powerful than the Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 and the Vesuvius eruption that wiped out Pompeii in 79 AD. The Chinese city of Chongqing is one of 4 major municipalities in the country. The city is full of incredible sights and also one very clumsy chef. Back on November 4th of 2015, a chef at a local Chongqing restaurant was using what appears to be a homemade blowtorch to cook pig's feet. Unsurprisingly, the canister of gas caught fire, and the chef, in an attempt to save his business, decided to just toss it into the street. Spoiler alert, it was a bad choice. The gas canister rolled away from the restaurant and right under a city bus parked nearby. You can see exactly where the gas is leaking from and blasting out like a flamethrower. One person runs in to try and save the bus by pulling on a wire still attached, but it was to no avail. The thing just keeps spinning and spinning, almost lighting the man on fire multiple times. After some time, the bus ends up catching fire. The chef comes running out with an extinguisher, but there's ultimately nothing they can do at this point. Soon, the fire department arrives and are able to put out the blaze. According to reports, 8 people were on the bus when the gas can rolled underneath. Thankfully, everybody made it off before the bus caught fire. The restaurant was at the top of a sloped street. Apparently, the chef didn't realize round objects tend to roll down or take the train from the public transit center. But if you were there on July 8th of 2015, you may have been looking for an alternate route. Bob's Crane Service had arrived to remove an old eucalyptus tree from outside the main transit hub. Unfortunately, things didn't go according to plan. Let's see why this simple tree removal had the locals running for their lives. You know you're in for a bad time when the crane truck is lifting off the ground. Next, we see the tree come down, which sends these 2 workers running in front of a bus. It looks like the crane is off camera behind those eucalyptus pieces. They probably thought the tree would come toward them. Clearly, it had other ideas. Thankfully, nobody was injured in the blunder. There were a few close calls, though. When the crane crashed down, the 500-pound weight connecting the arm and the tree flew skyward. That's what our 2 workers were running from, not the tree itself. According to reports, the weight landed about 50 feet away from the bus. We believe you can see it right here. Hey, we'd be running for the hills too.